you just pretty much summed it up right there. And really, it's just the whole notion of you shouldn't really lie about anything, period, to anybody, whether it's at the beginning, the end, middle, anywhere. Because even if it's not love, even if it's something small, you should just be completely honest, come out with it. Don't hide anything back, because that's just only going to make you look bad. Then you're going to start getting a bunch of crap into your mind of like false stuff, and it's just going to set off a whole chain of events.
Yeah, pretty much nailed that one right there. I'm just don't say the things you mean, and don't say things you don't mean for whatever reason you have. Don't try and convince yourself. Don't try and say something that you don't mean just in the hopes of keeping someone around or making them fall for you harder. If you don't mean it, just don't say it. Because another thing is maybe they are feeling it, but they're not ready to say it yet. Like they want to feel it for you, but they want to make sure you do first. You say it and don't mean it. Well, there you've just convinced or tricked them into thinking that you mean it when you don't. And then you just fuck them up.
I think that puts an end to that. I mean, you summed it up best right there. So, the next reigning topic is going to come up right now, in which you can introduce it again.
Moving on.
I don't know why I did that.
He's been practicing screaming, so trying different voices.
My voice is all fucked up right now. It's all good.
Moving on, as if you don't know what that means, that's also regarding relationships, I don't know. We can go so many places with this.
Hold on.
There's a phone. Woo!
Damn. There's a whole bunch of ambulances and cops, he said.
Oh, that's just
Fire.
a side note. There's fire somewhere.
Our town's burning down apparently, and there's cops and shit all over, I guess. Yep, that was awesome.
Beware.
Damn it.
Damn.
Shit, it got bigger. Damn, dude, tip is gonna burn down. This is messed up.
I have to respond.
I wonder what's burning. I love how we're just gonna let this
It's probably a fat lady.
fat lady burning down Six's Corners. Okay, well,
No, I'm
apparently-
saying it's a fat lady that's burning on fire.
Oh, there's a fat lady running around Six's Corners catching it on fire. Dude, there's gas pumps all around Six's Corners. There's 3 gas stations. Six's Corners is gonna blow up. Okay, well, there goes our town. This might be our last video.
Well, I think it was like Charles Manson or some
He
site.
said he's gonna come to Tiffin. Yeah, Six's Corners. That's right, we're half famous now.
Because, well, he said like Six's Corners is the gateway to hell or something like
Yeah.
that. So
Yeah, he said Six's Corners, Seneca County. Yeah, fucked up, right? And now it's on fire. Whoa, fuck. Glad I'm not at work. I almost switched LJ.
Damn. Anyways, moving on. As we said, this is regarding relationships, and in which case, I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. If you're in a relationship that's whether it's been something that's short, dated only a couple of weeks or something, or whether it's long, months, years. I mean, you just have to move on sometime. I mean, you can't sit there and just fret over the fact that the person is with somebody else or something like that. Like, you just gotta just flat out learn to move on. That if it wasn't meant to be, then it wasn't meant to be. So, the other person was able to take that into account. So why can't you?
Oh shit! All right. You have to leave the past in the past sometimes. I'm not saying forget about it and pretend it didn't happen and all of that bullshit, but and grow stronger from it. By all means, yeah. But you cannot sit there and dwell on the past the entire time, or you are just gonna waste your life and you're gonna have no present. I mean, come on now. It's usually like that. Usually one person moves on and dates other people and blah 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 blah, and the other person can't. And in the off chance that they try to, Even though the other person has moved on, they might say something that just gets under their skin or shit and freaks them out. So then they back off and ruin that relationship, and then they're alone again while the other person is still continuing to date other people. Like, it's an endless cycle of stupidity. The biggest like circumstance, whatever, for this happening would be, someone being your everything, like literally, like your first whatever everything. When you like dudes taking chicks' virginity is the biggest case of this, because I mean, come on, then they become attached and clingy. That's what happens. But I don't know why I did that. They become attached and clingy, and that's basically what starts this bullshit, because then the guy goes and he dates other chicks and fucks them, and he doesn't care what he's doing. And then, of course, the chick is just left there wondering why he don't love her anymore and all of that shit, and then it just ruins everything for all the other guys, and it's really fucking stupid.
Yeah. Okay, let's take this and here's okay, like for usually the girls' case. I mean, it seems to be the girls that are the ones that they have the ones that usually it's usually always, well, not always, but it tends to be more the girls' case that they can't move on rather than the guys.
Because we're dicks.
Yeah, in a girls' case, when they don't move on, I mean, there's always plenty of guys out there that are just willing and waiting, to hopefully get their chance with one of those girls, And when they're not able to move on, all they're doing is just causing more and more problems to these guys that have, been waiting around. And in which case, that's just, then that goes back to the whole thing of don't say things that you shouldn't mean, because
don't lead yourself into a relationship with someone who really cares about you when you're not going to care back. Like, okay, yeah, it's hard to move on maybe when you've lost someone you love. Yeah, it is hard to move on. Okay, you can't just move on. They're always in your head. They're always going to be in your head, but you can't let that fuck everything up. You have to try, but at the same time, when you're completely not ready to the point where you're not going to be able to function in a relationship. Don't fuck someone over like that, okay? I completely, I'm understandable about the fact, if you have started a new relationship and you still have, that person on your mind, and it's still hard for you to let go, because, I mean, every day that we go through life, something reminds us of something else. Memories they always happen. Something little could remind you of something big. It's just the way it is. And yeah, it's okay to be upset about that, and it's okay to admit that it's hard to move on. But at the same time, like I just said, when it's so bad to the point where you won't be able to function at all in making another person happy, because relationships aren't about just making you happy, unless you're a complete objectivist or whatever, and it's all about you and fuck everyone else. Go ahead.
Okay, to make this a little more interesting, I think I could maybe throw in my point of view of something that happened to me.
Okay, maybe.
Okay, well, let's just start it off. I'm going to be, once again, nice enough, not throwing out any names. Steve. I met a man named Steve. No, but like I said, I'm not going to throw any names, so I'll do my best not to. Anyways, back about, what was it? 3 months ago, I was more or less introduced to a girl. I mean, Steve, yeah. She was she was very nice, like typical girl. What else could you really ask for? But at the time I'd met her, it had been around 2 months that she was out of a relationship she was in for about 2.5 years, I believe. She claimed that she was somewhat over it, that she still had a little bit to go, but nothing was going to affect her. And to also throw in some more spice, that this is going to get into the things you shouldn't say, And she was, saying some stuff, saying that nothing pissed her off more than the people that go back